Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake! This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy, your voice of choice. The world's only 12-hour strong man on the air. Here on We Love
Films
108 FM. The last on your dial, but first in your hearts. And that's the truth. Root. Here I am. Am I here? You know it. You know. This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy doing the nasty to your ears to the nasty. Eyes only play the platters that matter, the matters they platter. And that's the truth. Root.
From the heart of Bed-Stuy, you're listening to We Love
Films.
Doing the yin and the yang, the hip and the hop, the stupid fresh thing, the flippity flop.
Movies. We watch movies. You listen to us talk about movies that we watched without you.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. Now this is podcasting.
Mm-hmm. 2018.
Mm-hmm.
2018, dude. It's crazy. It's 2017 went by so fast.
Did it? Because it simultaneously feels like it was forever and a minute.
I mean, when I think about the night that Donald Trump was elected president, which was...
That was 2016.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
But I use that as like a, thinking
Barometer.
about the first full calendar year of the Trump presidency. Man, that does not feel like that long ago.
No, it doesn't. I remember laughing maniacally in my car when I kept hearing the...
Because you finally won one?
I finally won one. 8 years of that Kenyan in the White House.
Oh, God.
Finally won for the average American.
The average American finally got their due.
Average Joe. Gonna get that cool $200 back every year.
Mm-hmm. I'm so happy.
Thank God.
We can finally say Merry Christmas. Isn't it great? Did you guys have fun doing that?
Hallelujah.
This year?
I've been saying it instead of Happy New Year to people.
Yeah.
Just letting them know. It was like 3, 2, 1, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And everybody was very appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you're talking about time
No,
slipping
yeah,
away.
it just felt like a quick year.
Yeah. It felt very quick, but it felt eventful, I feel.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of those 2016, my best year, or 2016, the worst year ever. But I think it was a pretty good year.
Man. There are way worse years.
Yeah.
Like 1929 was a terrible year.
Yeah. That was bad. It wasn't great.
Terrible.
You had the Great Depression.
Yeah, but did Louis C.K. jerk off in front of anyone in 1929?
I mean, he might have. People just weren't brave enough to come out and talk about it yet.
Exactly.
That's true.
I think we're getting more... I think just news is... This is going to be a weird statement. I think we just have more news now.
That's
we
100. Yeah.
Yeah. We just have more, like, events happening, so every single week it feels like something else is going on. And I think that's just going to be exponentially growing more and more and more, just how we're so connected and everything is 24 hours and news is everywhere.
Trey, it sounds like you need to get hooked up with the Black Mirror folks and get on season 5.
I should, man. I'm all about
That's
that.
an idea.
Yeah, I'm all about that, man. I could write some stuff for Black Mirror.
Like
You know?
what's an idea you have?
An idea I have is so pretty much everybody stays at home. Everyone is inside at all times. Everything is, you work online, your food is delivered through some kind of weird thing. Everyone is indoors at all times at home.
Got it?
And I don't know where that goes,
Oh.
but that's just an idea. That's a little kernel of the idea.
Yeah.
Just everything's online at home.
All rights reserved, Trey Vids.
Yeah, don't steal that idea. Please don't. That's my idea.
This is Moneymaker.
Yeah. And maybe he realizes, like, there's no one out there or something. I don't know.
There is no outside?
Yeah, there is no outside.
Everyone else dies, but one guy's stuck inside.
Yeah, and he just feels like that's him.
All right, we're doing like popcorn reading. Adam, how are you adding on to here?
Okay.
Oh, from this? So we go slow zoom out. We go to his window. We see his house. Zoom out even further. All the crops are apps and only robots on the roads.
And then you hear, then zoom out from that, and you see it's just it's a blown out United States nuclear war, and you start hearing Jimi Hendrix all along the watchtower. Zoom out from that, it's Earth, but it's flat and it's on the back of a stone turtle in space.
Dang. Zoom out from that, and it's an alien looking at, like holding a controller and looking at a screen. Alien is playing the game all along.
Oh. Zoom out from that.
Well, you're skipping Adam's turn.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, zoom out from that, and it's a commercial for the General, and buy insurance now.
Zoom out from that. That TV the commercial is on the back of a humongous alien bean.
Bean?
Yeah,
alien bean.
And that's floating in space as well.
Oh, dang.
I don't think we can go much deeper than that. That's
And
the episode.
Zoom out from that. It's in
Trey's
a
got
marble.
more.
It's in a marble, and you got two
That's
aliens
Men in
playing
Black.
marbles.
That's
Yeah.
Men in Black.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh, and zoom out from that, and a monster is holding that marble, and it's on the wing of an airplane.
Ooh.
And you're looking at it through the window.
Mm-hmm. And then you zoom out from that, and Bruce Willis is dead the whole time.
Oh, damn.
All right, does
All right.
not get any better than that.
I'll
Hit
figure
us
it.
up,
All rights
Yeah.
reserved.
Black Mirror.
Yeah, that's season 5 of Black Mirror right there.
Yep.
You got it.
Switching it up, instead of 6 episodes, just one really good episode.
Zoom.
How was your New Year's? How was your New Year's, guys? Your Christmas, New Year's times? You saw a show, right?
Yeah, we went and we saw Hall & Oates
Yeah,
at the WinStar Casino.
Mm-hmm.
it was a great time.
Yeah.
They
it was
are
fun.
like 70 years old, and they are still rocking. I think old Daryl Hall, they've been on tour for a long time. I think he's struggling with some of the high notes
Sure.
right now.
Sure.
Voice is a little strange.
Mhm.
Might also have something to do with the food he ate from Walmart earlier that day, apparently.
The lady who drove us to WinStar said that her mom drove Hall & Oates to Walmart to get food.
So you had someone drive you to WinStar?
Yeah, because we stayed at a hotel.
Oh, okay. I see. I
In-
thought you meant you had someone drive you from Dallas to WinStar.
No, from...
But she does do that. Call Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody call Kathy. It's
Call
good.
her up. Call Kathy.
Also, little Johnny Oates, he's very small.
It's a
He's a
tiny
very
human.
small man.
So online it says he's 5'4". There's no way in hell he's 5'4".
That's generous.
He is maybe 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
But-
a small man.
But I think he's embraced it because I did not see one soapbox on that stage. So he was just, you know what? This is me. Take me as
It's
I
me.
am.
You gotta take the whole package.
Halfway through the set, though, he did go on to a rack and have someone try to stretch him out. A little bit.
Iraq?
Mm-hmm.
A rack?
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, the rack, the
You know.
torture rack.
You
Tie your hands above you,
Yeah.
tie your feet below you, and then you'll crank it, and then it stretches
Yeah.
you out.
And then
Rank the medieval torture devices.
Ooh, Iron Maiden's got to be up there.
That's the one where it's just a suit of armor with
Yeah.
spikes.
Yeah.
that's
Spikes in it.
definitely
I always
one.
liked the cage that went around your belly, and you had a rat in there, and it got hungry, it would eat your
Oh yeah.
belly out.
Ooh, chastity belt.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's a
It's-
good one.
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
there was another time during the concert where John Oates went into like a human body sized like penis pump, and they
Yes.
just tried to pump him up,
Mhm.
Yeah.
swell him up.
Okay.
You know, being drawn and quartered is probably the sickest way to die.
Tar and feathered.
You think tar and feather's worse than being tied to horses and then have the horses run off and just rip you apart?
Yeah, no, that would suck.
That would suck. Yeah.
Anyway, what you guys been watching?
Hey, this is Super FilmsCast 64.
Hey, this is Super FilmsCast.
Super medieval
New
torture
year,
cast 64.
new year, new cast. That's
Yep.
what I say.
New year, new cast. And you know what that means? We're talking all Ice Age all the time.
Yeah.
This is now Scratcast 64. We're keeping up with all the latest Scrat news.
We got all the cool
He's
Sid.
in space now.
Listen, Scrat, he's trying to hide his nut somewhere, and you know what? Sometimes it goes places he doesn't want it
You know
to.
who loves that character?
every man.
My dad.
Because they get it.
Your
My
dad loves Scrat?
Loves Scrat. Hey, it's just an acorn. It's a squirrel chasing a nut. It's hilarious.
Does he relate to that?
Oh, yeah.
In his pursuit of his goals?
Hey, every squirrel has a nut they're trying to find. It's just like business, Trey. It's like my business, you know?
That's how your dad talks?
Yeah, he has a Chicago accent. He's a Chicago man. Hey, bada bing from the
Trey,
Northeast.
I love the Scrat.
Hey, Trey. It's me. It's a mamma mia. I don't know.
Wait, so he's... Trey, is your dad Super Mario?
He might be.
No wonder
I
you
used to
love
think he
video
was
games.
I used to think he was a gangster back in the day.
No, he's just a gamester.
No, a gamester. God. I missed you guys.
Yeah.
I missed you guys.
You too.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We did it last week. We
We
haven't
did.
missed a week unlike
We
some
haven't.
other podcasts
Boom.
around here.
First cast of the year starting out strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have I been watching? I watched all 6 episodes of the new Black Mirror.
All 6.
All 6. How many did you watch?
I watched 2 today.
The first 2?
Yes.
You didn't go out of order?
I just got through 5
Okay.
before this cast.
Okay.
Yeah. For the most part, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they've found their thing that is the scariest, which is copying your consciousness and kind of torturing you that's not actually you.
Yeah.
And
They've done
They've done that a few times.
well, right. So
But
they
it's
did it.
good, though.
They did it in San Junipero,
Yeah.
where it wasn't torture.
Now,
it was
I have not seen that one, and I haven't seen the B one, but I kind of know when
Okay.
it happens. So.
What's the B one?
where they have the tiny electronic bees that. It's from a few seasons ago.
I
It
mean,
was,
I've seen that. I
last
just
season,
I'd
yeah.
have to. Yeah, I'd have to. Go
I think I
back
just
and
missed a few of
remember.
those. Yeah.
So at San Junipero, they take their consciousness and make like
Yeah.
a heaven,
Which,
essentially.
you know what? Because that was considered the most optimistic one, right?
Yes,
And that's
for
the
sure.
one that won all the awards. Is
It
that
was
kind
to
of,
date. Yeah.
Is that kind of weird how the most optimistic episode of a show about how we're all fucked wins all the awards?
Well, I think that's what kind of made it even more jarring, I
Yeah,
guess,
right,
is
yeah.
because you kept expecting for things to go badly,
Mhm.
and then it ends up being good, and it's like this huge relief
Yeah.
when you watch it. It's
Okay.
like,
It
oh.
had to happen eventually, you know,
Mhm.
where they, because I mean,
There are a few in this season that end
yeah.
fairly optimistically.
First 2 I've not seen. The first 2 are not very optimistic.
The
the
first,
first
one
one's
was
optimistic.
more
Yeah.
or less.
Yeah. I mean, in the
considering
real
the
world,
alternate-
it's
like-
not very optimistic.
I mean, it's like the good guys essentially win.
Sure.
Which does not typically happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are some pretty messed up episodes.
Mhm.
I think there are a couple times where they lean so heavily on kind of like it's so heavy on the technology kind of like it's like taking your consciousness and it's like, are you really being tortured and that stuff? But there's one episode which I don't think you've gotten to yet.
No, I've just seen the first
That
2.
is there is some like technology stuff, but it's more it's less reliant on like kind of darkness through technology than it is just kind of what people do when they're
Which one are you talking about? The
I'm talking about the one
insurance one or
where,
the
insurance one.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that I don't remember which that one was. 3 maybe? 3 or
Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it like the consciousness thing, they do it. They've done it in the past. They did it in White Christmas. They do it again in the first episode of this one. They do it again in the 6th one.
Mhm.
And I am kind of not into that.
No.
I'm kind of over it. I enjoy Black Mirror because I like the creative, inventive ways.
Yeah, and there still are some really inventive
There's some
and
cool
fun
ones.
episodes.
I think the 5th episode is by far the worst.
Oh, really?
I think so. There's like there's nothing at all. It's almost just like, hey, Google Dog is scary.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was
Like it's
suspenseful enough for me.
It's fun as like an action sequence, but as an episode with
Right.
like, a storyline and kind of what's happening. There's not a whole lot of
Yeah.
explanation
Right.
of anything. Overall, I would say it's not the strongest season, but there is a lot of good moments.
I think just in general, that show it's good episodes, bad episodes, which it's cool because it is a, it's more of a I forgot what the term
Miniseries?
Miniseries. Well, no, not
Vignettes.
even that. It's a anthology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't think you could really. I guess you can because you see it all as a package, but I kind of take it more as, this is a good episode, bad episode.
Well,
Good
it's
episode, bad
it's
episode.
like looking at it like ESPN's 30 for 30s
Right.
or something.
Yeah.
Like you can like one episode of 130 for 30 and not like the other one.
Yeah,
And overall, you still like the package that it.
sure.
So should we maybe talk about the first one a little bit?
Yeah, if you want to. I also think it's interesting that the show, because it used to be it was a British show. I guess
Yes.
it still is,
And
but
then Netflix.
took it, and now it's kind of just an all-encompassing show,
Right.
which I think it's kind of lost. I don't know. I might be wrong on this, but it kind of lost that British sense of dread.
Well, it's all still written by Charlie Brooker.
Okay.
So it's the same guy.
Okay. Maybe I'm I don't know. I think when it's British people, I feel more depressed.
Yeah.
When it's just, Jesse Plemons.
Right.
You're a little more, it's Jesse Plemons. But when I hear a British guy, I'm like, oh man, this is not going well.
Well, the later episodes are
Okay.
more British.
Okay.
But that
Anyway.
first one, I like it. Like it's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
As far as kind of when they first find out that they're all sentient,
Yeah.
essentially, and that they just can't do anything, and he's slapping where his penis would be.
Yeah.
And he's just like, there's nothing here. We tried rubbing our stumps together, but nothing happens.
That guy's been getting some good work lately.
Yeah. What's his name? I
Jimmy, it's Jimmy with an I, and then
Yeah.
S something.
Yeah.
Simpson. I think it's
know.
Jimmy Simpson.
Yeah.
But yeah,
'cause
in Westworld-
He's like a kind of the main guy in Westworld, and now he's doing he's doing well.
Yeah, Jimmy Simpson.
He's got some range, and Jesse Plemons can really play a good creep guy.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
looks so much like Matt Damon.
Yeah, he does.
And especially in the real world, which
Yeah.
I know he's supposed to look even more tore up, but he looked so much like
Yeah,
Matt Damon in the real
Yeah.
world.
He looks
does.
in the real world of that episode. He looks like Matt Damon at the end of 2017. What a
Oh,
horrific
God.
year for
Oh,
Matt
man.
Damon.
all
Man.
torn up.
jeez.
Yeah. So Black Mirror.
Mino's now distancing though because he said on the show this weekend that people said I look like Jesse Plemons, but I think I'm more attractive than he is. I'm like, okay, whatever, Mino.
Whatever.
You look
I
like
know.
Jesse Plemons, kind of.
Well, friggin' Jesse Plemons got Kristen Dunst pregnant, so
Yeah.
he's doing all right.
He's
Yeah.
doing
in the looks
fine.
department.
He's doing good. Anyway,
Passing
yeah.
just fine. I also saw Darkest Hour, the Gary Oldman, Winston Churchill picture.
Yeah.
It is kind of like you get at least one Oscar movie like this every year,
Sure.
and it's pretty much exactly what you expect it to be. Gary Oldman is really, really good in it, and his makeup is fantastic because they have a lot of close-ups on him, and his fake jowls and like double chin and stuff looks amazing. It has pores and tiny wrinkles and all kinds of little intricacies that are really good, and it's kind of he does a lot of British humor, and there's like the House of Parliament and stuff where everybody's yelling and making kind of jokes and stuff back and forth, which is always. Have you guys ever watched how their like
A little
Congress
bit.
works?
It's
No.
very tongue in cheek.
It's so tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
and they go back and forth making like smart guy quips at each
Yeah.
other, and there's always
It's-
just a bunch of old white guys just like.
It's how you would expect it to be.
It's crazy. It looks like it's out of a movie. and,
Yeah.
like Boris Johnson would be like, "Well, I do say this is not what we wanted," and everyone's like, and it's so there's some of that, and but overall, it's a movie that just made me want to watch Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Because where Dunkirk is kind of the action without really much of anything that's going on outside, this is everything that happens
Yeah.
on the outside without actually going in the moment. Because Dunkirk is kind of the big moment of the movie,
Yeah.
and his decision to send the citizen navy to go pick up all the soldiers. And
You should splice the two together. You probably could.
I think you could, and it could be really interesting.
That'd be cool.
It'll be done, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so I don't know. I thought it was good. I preferred Dunkirk.
Sure.
Obviously, because it's just a little more action and kind of the decision making of Winston Churchill. There's like a scene where he goes and gets the opinions of the people on the London Underground and gets it, and so it's like kind of cheesy. It's a lot kind of like Lincoln, but nowhere near as good as Lincoln.
Yeah. I found that movie mind blowing.
Lincoln, because he gets shot in the head.
Yeah. That's a good swallow.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that. All right.
Yeah. So I saw that, and
Yeah.
then I saw Molly's Game, which...
Yeah,
Trey, did you...
I did not see that, but
Okay.
you guys can do a quick review if you want. I haven't
I
seen
saw Molly's
anything
Game.
since last week, so
Okay.
except for if you guys want to talk about it, I mean,
Molly's
I'll probably see
Game.
it. Yeah,
It was long.
it was long.
It was really good, but it's a long movie.
It was long. It is long, but it didn't feel long. Even as much as I'm trying to think of another. There's some movie that we watched. Star Wars. Star Wars felt long to me, and maybe it's because I wasn't into it as much.
Yeah,
but
Molly's Game didn't feel long until I'm still watching the movie, and I think, oh, I'm still watching this movie, and I'm enjoying it all the way through. But after a while, I just had a revelation of this movie's still going on.
Yeah.
But no, it was really good, and the dialogue is great, and the story is really interesting. I feel like I know more about poker. Michael Cera, the coolest guy in the freaking world in this movie.
Yeah.
I think I remember the previews for this. Yeah. Okay.
You don't even remember the previews?
I do remember the previews now. Michael Cera is supposed to be a badass, right?
He's just playing poker.
Yeah.
He's the one with Jessica Chastain's boobies in it.
No, I know.
So in this movie, it's Molly Bloom, a story of Molly Bloom, who basically ran like the biggest, like kind of poker game, obviously like not in a casino or whatever. She ran these high stakes poker games with celebrities, actors, musicians, whatever, in LA and New York. And it's kind of the story of her about how she came into that role and kind of all the things that happened to her after that role, ultimately leading up to her taking a rake, which is you taking a percentage of the pot, at which point that's racketeering and it's illegal. Otherwise, there's a lot of weird loopholes you can do to make that legal, and all like the legal ramifications that came after that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of her, kind of getting in good with movie stars and being able to get people of high regard, and eventually the Russian mob gets involved, and it's a very Aaron Sorkin movie. There is so much talking and fast dialogue back and forth, and it's all super engaging. It's kind of incredible how he does it. He does do multiple times. He does his Aaron Sorkin bit where he asks a question and then the character responds with not the answer and then goes, and then they go and they have a quick little back and forth, and then the character answers the question that was asked like 5 to 7 minutes ago. And that'll happen at least 3 times in everything Aaron Sorkin ever does.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how he just does that one trick all the time. And it's a lot of fun, always.
Yeah. It's really good. I saw the preview and I was like, there's no way I would enjoy seeing a movie about this, but it actually, I think the dialogue and the character interaction really carries the movie, to the point where I really liked it and would be interested. I don't know if I'd ever read the book that it's based off of, called Molly's Game. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it feels like an Oscar movie that you could be like, hey, Dad, watch this.
Mhm.
Kind of like we were talking about with I, Tonya, where it's not Call Me by Your Name
Yeah.
or even The Shape of Water to an extent, where it is a little more auteur.
My parents went to go see I, Tonya the other night.
Uh-huh.
And actually, you know what? I remember they're like, we're going to go see Downsizing. And I'm like, no, don't see that. Adam said it was terrible.
Spencer.
I said that was terrible.
Well, I apologize.
That's
So-
fine.
It's okay.
I'll-
Just
I'll-
don't bad talk me to your parents ever again.
Well, no, I mean, I was giving him Adam was giving,
Right.
never mind.
No. So,
No,
so they
but yeah,
saw
were-
I, Tonya?
Yeah,
Did
they loved it. Yeah.
Yeah?
They really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need to see I, Tonya.
You need to see I, Tonya. I would say you should probably see Molly's Game, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's very enjoyable. So we said 52 cards.
Yeah, out of 52 cards, I give it a 39 out of 52 cards.
Okay, I would give it probably a 43 out of 52 cards.
All right.
I think it's a really strong movie. Jessica Chastain will probably get nominated for some stuff, and I think
Mhm.
she is really going to get. Idris Elba is pretty good in it. I don't think he'll get nominated for anything.
Kevin
though.
Costner was really
Kevin
good, too.
Costner's one speech is really good.
Yeah.
I think it's just fun.
Yeah. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's going. They're playing poker. Chris O'Dowd's crying. There's a lot of snappy things.
Oh, yeah, Chris O'Dowd was also pretty fun in it.
And let's see, what else did I watch? I watched a Dave Chappelle special.
Now, how much of this is on your? Oh yeah, that did come out. Christmas Day, right?
New Year's.
Oh, New Year's. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How many of this is on your list of 100?
0.
0. Okay.
This was all pre today.
Okay. Pre today. See, I'm waiting.
You
I'm waiting
wasted them
to.
all.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that 100. Now I can do whatever now.
Yeah. Right.
What sucks is because I'm working on this new video and all the movies that I'm gonna watch for are movies I've seen before, and so it's like I'm wasting now a bunch of movies. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah. So you watched the Chappelle special?
I watched the Chappelle special. I watched the second one. I didn't watch the first one.
Yeah.
Because the second one was more about Louis C.K.
Ooh,
and
really?
And kind of the Me Too stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid. It's
Yeah.
pretty great. The biggest moment, he uses a book written by a pimp from the 1940s to explain why he left
Mm-hmm.
his show, and that's a really good story. It's not necessarily as much stand-up as it is kind of like a really concerning look at the industry.
Yeah.
But it's really strong, I would say. I watched like the first 5 minutes of the other one, and I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
And let's see. I also watched, I know I'm doing a bunch, I also watched The Prestige.
Love The Prestige.
That's one Nolan movie I've not seen.
That's the best.
That
Put it on the
should
list.
be number one that you watch this year. It's
Okay.
pretty great. I'm a guy who loves magic.
I,
And
Okay. I
so
wish
that was a big year for you
Yeah.
because you had that and the The Illusionist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was a big
Yeah.
year for magic movies.
Yeah. The Prestige, it's Christian Bale and it's Hugh Jackman.
Huge jacked man.
Yeah. And this one is Christian Bale. The concept is Christian Bale kind of he kills Hugh Jackman's wife in a trick by accident.
Sure.
And then now they just are going back and forth trying to get revenge on each
Right.
other.
It's competing magicians basically trying to figure out each other's tricks.
Is it like Can You See Me?
It's not like
I
Can
know.
You See Me? Can You See Me is a wild
Yeah.
ride where they use their magic for bad.
Yes.
Where they're bad boys. These ones, they're just using excuses to kind of murder each other.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think The Prestige, it might be my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. If not, it's the second best,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think.
I think it's probably The Dark Knight and then The Prestige.
Okay.
Yeah. Prestige is great though. Top to bottom, yeah. I would say watch that first. then
I
put
think
that on the list.
I've already know the ending, but I want to watch it anyway.
And
How,
there's-
did you have it spoiled for you or
Yeah,
something?
I've had it spoiled a long time ago.
Oh well, that's
Yeah, but
upsetting.
honestly though, like for me, a lot of times, even if I know the ending, it just makes me want to see it even more. Or
Yeah. No, it's still
I
great.
feel like I still want to watch it. Yeah, I still want to see it.
Yeah. I mean, so it's a twist.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's one of his, like, because he has tons of twists in his
Right.
movies.
Mhm.
That's like his best twist
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
And also, he has a lot of time jumps. Don't
Yeah.
worry, this is a Christopher Nolan movie where
Yeah.
it is not linear, in case you were concerned. Anyway, that's what I've been watching.
Cool. So yeah, I watched Molly's Game, Black Mirror, and then we started rewatching Westworld
I
because
still
new
haven't
season is
finished
supposed to come out early this year. And
Jimmy
so-
Simpson.
Jimmy Simpson, and it's really fun rewatching this series, knowing what happens.
I still haven't finished it. I need to finish it.
Yeah, I loved the series a
Yeah.
lot. Even like there are plenty of issues with this series. There are times where it's like, well, why would they do that?
Yeah.
Whatever. But I think the performances and the world that they made is cool enough where I'm willing to just kind of overlook it and enjoy it for what it is. And it's just one of those things. It's one of those HBO series where part of the fun is like, talking with people about it at work or with your
Mhm.
friends or whatever throughout the week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, really looking forward to the second season of that.
Totally.
That's pretty much all I've been watching.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, just Black Mirror. We already kind of talked about that. I mean, there's still movies I need to see this year, and I kind of have a list. I think Lady Bird, I really got to see. The Post, Phantom Thread, Florida Project, 3 Billboards. Ghost Story. Did you guys see Ghost Story?
I did not see Ghost Story, but the guy who directed it is Dallas's own.
Okay.
So I know he's from around here. I didn't see it. I think Gina saw it, my girlfriend. But I don't know. It looked interesting. Casey Affleck walking around wearing a little sheet.
Mm-hmm. Molly's Game, I, Tanya. And probably some other ones, too.
You still gonna see Jumanji?
Yeah, I need to see Jumanji.
Let's all go see Jumanji together, y'all.
I'm down to see Jumanji. I'm down. Let's go tonight.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I can't. I gotta work, unfortunately.
Ah.
Yeah. Anyway, a lot of movies, man. A lot of things to do.
Movies come out.
They come
Fast
out.
and Furious this time of year.
They do.
Except Fast and Furious, which
That's-
comes out in April every year.
Mm-hmm.
Every other year.
Can't wait for Fast 9.
It's gonna be great.
Well, there's going to be Hobbs and Jason Statham. The Rock and Jason Statham
Oh,
movie.
they're
Hobbs
doing
and,
a spinoff.
Decker.
Yeah,
right?
they're doing
Calvin and Hobbs. Why can't they just name him Calvin and have Calvin and Hobbs?
do it like night and day
Yeah.
with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz.
Oh,
Do you know in
man.
that movie, so Tom Cruise's last name is Knight, and Cameron Diaz's character is not last name Day. There is no character named Day. So
It's
it's
a
just
missed opportunity.
it's just
Mhm.
night and day for no reason.
fun story about that movie. You'll know how at AMC all the employees have their name tag in their favorite movie
Yes.
underneath their name.
I never noticed that. All right.
Mhm. Yeah, you'll notice they all have a movie underneath, and it's their favorite movie. There was a lady who worked at an AMC in Addison. Her favorite movie was Night and Day,
No, it was.
and I asked her, I was like, "Is your favorite movie Night and Day?" And she said, "Yeah, I just love Tom Cruise. So if it's not Night and Day, it's probably Jack Reacher." Which Jack Reacher was actually pretty fun, but
No,
Night and Day takes the W for
Yeah.
her.
What would yours be? Would it be your favorite movie, or would you pick something else? 'Cause
My
I feel
favorite-
like,
Oh, what would I put on my name tag,
Yeah.
or what's my favorite Tom Cruise?
what would you
movie?
put on your name tag?
I would put Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay.
I would probably pick The Graduate, so people would be like,
Look at this guy.
This guy knows film.
Yes. See, I don't know. Goodfellas seems so generic.
You
Even though
put
it is my
Blade
favorite
Runner.
movie.
Come
like,
on, you put Blade Runner.
I would probably put Blade Runner.
Come
Yeah, that might be a
on.
good one. Because I think Goodfellas is my favorite movie of all time, but
Yeah.
I think that's everybody's favorite movie of all time.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
for a
something
reason.
to be separating yourself from the
Yeah,
pack.
I gotta separate myself.
It's like at the Blockbuster, you have the hey, these are Spencer's picks.
Yeah, these are staff picks.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure would be on the shelf
Mine would-
collecting dust.
Mine would just be Antichrist, and
just
then
fast forwarded straight to the
yes, it's just a repeat of that scene. And then it would be
Clipping.
like 200 Days of Sodom or whatever it's called, or Solemn or whatever that movie's called, that torture movie or
I'm
Serbian
not
film
sure.
would be on there. That's Trey's picks.
How fun.
You'd get fired.
I would. They sell them there. They do sell. They do sell Serbian film there.
At Blockbuster?
No, at a movie
They don't
training
sell
company.
anything at Blockbuster.
Movie training company. They have Serbian film Criterion edition.
All right.
Yeah, go help yourself.
Check it out.
Anyway, let's do some news.
All right, news time.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start off with our box office. First, at the box office,
Hooray! We get to find the winner.
Star Wars, $52 million.
Wow.
No one's surprised.
Did it go down or up or?
It's down, but I mean it's not significantly down.
Okay.
It was 68 million last week, 52 million this week.
Okay.
That's kind of pretty average. Jumanji, 50 million.
I guess that one, right?
That held pretty strong.
Yes.
We all had Jumanji second.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch Perfect 3 was third at 16 million. Greatest Showman was fourth at 15 million.
Greatest Snowman.
So wait, so who picked? I don't remember
what everyone picked.
Because you and I went back and forth.
We went back and
deep.
forth pretty deep. But what we had third was Molly's Game, which was only released in 200 theaters.
God dang it.
Not wide. So Trey with Star Wars Jumanji, All the Money in the World wins, meaning that I will be watching and reviewing Bright on Netflix
Yay!
next week.
I think I'll watch it anyway. I mean, should we watch it or do you just have to watch it?
Well, if as a punishment, I feel like I am going to be watching it. I cannot say what you guys should or should not do, but maybe I'll write a emoji movie like review.
Do that. I loved your emoji movie review. That would also probably be on our top. If we did a top segments of the year, that would be there too.
A top bottom of the year.
Yeah, that was a great review.
Top bottom. That was my nickname in high school.
Not as good, but
have you ever gulped before?
I'm trying. No.
Oh, ghoul.
I did like Kirk's re-edit of your emoji movie review with emojis.
With actual emojis. Yes.
One of the best things Kirk has ever done.
Yeah, top Kirk
Yes.
moments of the year.
So next week we're starting off clean, a clean slate.
Can we confirm the movies you are about to read off?
If you want to confirm it, go for it. It is an effort that I do on this podcast, and sometimes finding releases is not easy. So this week we have Molly's Game, I believe, going wide this week. Insidious, the latest in that
the Insidious franchise.
In the Insidious franchise, and then Hostiles, which is with Christian Bale, where he has to take that engine man somewhere else, but he doesn't want to. He wants to kill him.
Damn.
Very tender humor.
So now it's all wiped out. Nobody, and as the loser, I guess I'll go first. I'm going to take Star Wars.
That's going to be interesting, though, in a few weeks when we pick when it's going to drop off.
It'll also be interesting because it's going to be right along the same time as when good movies stop coming out.
Yeah, that's true.
And Star Wars Disney made theaters guarantee that they would hold Star Wars in theaters for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So
wasn't that the big thing with Tarantino a couple years ago where
he was supposed to have was that Hateful Eight?
Hateful Eight.
It was supposed to be held in for a certain amount of time, and they dropped it for Star Wars, and he got all pissy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you guys think?
Star Wars is number one.
Yeah, Star Wars. There's not a big blockbuster.
I'm gonna go to Box Office Mojo, and I'm gonna try to find this out.
Are we sure that Insidious: The Last Key is not one of those cool limited releases for
Insidious: The Last Key is
indie films like Insidious?
It is 3,000 theaters, so that's pretty wide as far as wide goes. I think I'm gonna take Jumanji again. Second.
I'm going to go Molly's Game because I think men might be able to convince their wives to go just to see them Jessica Chastain titties.
Oh, we didn't talk about that. Her titties is out that whole movie.
The whole movie?
Yeah, I mean it's to fit the character because she dresses herself up like that
Right.
because she's working for tips.
Sure.
That's how she's able to do it legally.
Okay. How much did Jumanji make?
Jumanji made $50 million.
I mean, this last week.
That's right.
Okay, 50 million. Give me Jumanji.
Okay. Jumanji.
So now it's just y'all.
Now it's just us.
Then give me or what were you? You picked first.
I was going to take Insidious.
I was going to take Insidious as well.
Okay.
Horror sells, Spencer.
Yeah.
Horror sells.
Yeah. I think titties. So.
Titties do sell.
They do sell.
I'll take. Molly's Game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to take too.
And then Pitch Perfect 3.
Yeah, I need to pick something else besides Pitch Perfect 3. Though.
You don't have to, though.
You don't have to do anything.
All right, I'll pick Pitch Perfect 3.
Okay. I'm going to take The Greatest Showman.
What else do I have to choose from? I'm going to pick the new movie. The
Hostiles?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So those are our picks. It'll be Jumanji versus Molly's Game, and then Hostiles versus Greatest Showman.
Mm-hmm.
On to other news.
News.
So there's been a lot of kind of year-end box office stuff that's come out. This is the worst year for theaters in like the last 22 years.
Damn.
Even with the Star Wars surge.
Damn.
You know what that means? We need to have more reboots.
Yeah.
Get those kids into the theaters with that awesome freaking cyborg ninja reboots.
Stranger Thing, the movie.
Yes. Get that in there. You know what we need to do? Let's just take Stanley Kubrick. No one's rebooted his movies yet. We're going to do 2001 Space Odyssey 2.
They already did a sequel.
Fuck. I'm out of ideas.
2002 A Space Odyssey.
We're going to do a new Clockwork Orange movie. We're going to call it a Clockwork Mango. We're going to set it on a beach. Going to have some hot babes. We're going to get I don't know.
Kate Upton in it.
Kate Upton's going to be in it. We're going to get, you know what? Clockwork Orange, but with females.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm done with the show. I'm done. That's it.
Trey's packing his bags. He's going to Hollywood.
Bye, Trey.
Wow. Wasn't that so cool when a Hollywood executive came in and did the podcast with us?
I remember those days.
So, kind of along those lines, though, Dunkirk is the only movie in the top 25 at the box office this year that was not a remake, a sequel, or an adaptation.
Wow. Wasn't Get Out up there?
It was not
top 25?
Not top 25
Damn.
at the box office.
Jesus. Well,
but I think remake or sequels did make up a great deal of it, but I think adaptation is kind of unfair.
yeah,
Right.
if like a book adaptation, that's not. Yeah, that's because some of the best movies ever made are book adaptations.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's been something that's been happening since movies were
Yes.
made.
And that's I mean, even still, it's either way, it's something is written down and then it's written for film, or like so that you have a story and then it's the screenplay is written or whatever. So I think you can just treat a book almost as a screenplay in a lot, or like the story before the screenplay.
Tell that to a literary professor.
If I meet one, I will tell him that to his face or her face.
Ooh, way to go!
They can be teachers too. Just so we know what was up at the top this year, Star Wars #1. It passed Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
This last week.
You know, I'm starting to, because we did picks for Academy Award nominees, and I'm starting to regret my Beauty and the Beast. I don't know. I feel like just not talk about it.
Not at all.
I thought that was going to be a sleeper hit.
The
and
sleeper
then
hit that made $500 million.
Well, I mean, I thought it was going to be that. I don't know, man. Maybe it will be nominated for
unheralded Disney release.
Well, I was expecting it to be nominated for a bunch of just technical stuff, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
There's so many other technical movies.
I know.
Beauty and the Beast, Wonder Woman, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, It, Thor, Despicable Me 3, Logan, Justice League. That's the top 10.
Damn. That's a lot of superheroes.
A lot of superheroes, and that's why you see a bunch of superhero movies.
Yeah.
That's
why.
That's why. Star Wars.
See, I don't hate the superhero movie. I just don't enjoy them as much as others. I don't
think you need like 7 of them a year.
No, you don't. You really don't. Like, I always get upset when the hardline just dismisses them, but
I don't get that mad.
But on the flip side, I kind of dismiss them as well, but not as heavily as they do. Like, I get why they're there. I get they're fun to watch, but
they also just like
there's too many. And
it'd be one thing if they kept making them and they didn't make a bajillion dollars every time.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a huge market for
Right.
these, and maybe you're not the target for all of them, but it gets enough people.
Yeah,
that it's kind of the only thing that's keeping all these
studios
movies afloat.
I mean, I like Logan. I really liked.
Yeah,
and I think I might have put Dunkirk a little too low. That might be number 3 or 2 on my list. I think I put Dunkirk low on the list, but Logan's up there in top 5. And like Chronicle is that's one of my favorite movies of all time, and that's a really good example of a good superhero movie that's done in a unique way. Or even Unbreakable is a good superhero movie, quote unquote. I wish they would do some more things like that with the superhero genre, not just Marvel and DC.
Yeah. So Star Wars.
Yes.
We said it passed Beauty and the Beast. It's the biggest at the box office.
Yeah, I'm sorry
of the
I'm
year.
interrupting you.
No,
Yeah.
you're good. You're adding content. That's all. That's what we need. It's all about content, baby.
Content is king.
Oh, always. Star Wars now has passed in gross movie ticket sales what Disney paid for Lucasfilm. So
Wow.
it's taken 3 movies to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah.
And they
Man.
paid so much money for it. And guess what, guys? 5 months. We're getting
Another.
I
Solo
can't believe it's
story.
coming that soon. I didn't realize it was that soon.
it is. And boy, that seems real.
Misfire.
I don't know if it's a misfire. I'm interested in seeing because there's a lot of.
We're going to see
Well,
it.
it's crazy.
I'm definitely gonna see it.
Yeah, of course
I
I'm gonna
don't
see it.
think we're not going to see it.
It's
you know?
crazy with the reshoots that they didn't just reschedule it for a December release.
Yeah.
Like all the other movies are.
Yeah, I have no explanation for why it would be, unless it's like it's supposed to be funny, so they're trying to put it kind of more around the summer blockbustery
Sure.
type
Yeah.
I could see
things. But I don't understand all the people. There's a big like anti Han Solo movie sentiment that I'm seeing from people
that. Mhm.
that they're like, oh, we don't want a Han Solo movie. We want an Obi-Wan movie, which an Obi-Wan movie is coming. But I don't know why would you not want a Han Solo movie?
Yeah, I don't know because there's plenty of backstory that we don't know about Han, and plenty of stuff that's like talked about in the movies that you don't really you have the top tip of the iceberg, but not the actual meat of it. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be an amazing movie, but
No.
I think they should be able to make it fun.
I think the mess with the director change, I think that's a big reason.
I think everything about it afterwards
Yeah.
has been bad. But the fact that there is a Han Solo movie
Yeah.
coming out, I think is not the worst decision
Right.
in the world. And I feel like I'm getting that impression from some people that I don't really
I
understand.
mean, my thing is just in general, I don't think Han Solo needs a backstory. I think it's cool that he's just this rogue, guy out there doing bad shit, and he just gets picked up and becomes a hero.
Mhm.
I don't think he needs to have a mentor. I don't think he needs to have an arc. I mean, he does need to have an arc, but I don't think he needs to have some reason why he became the way he is. I think he's just who he is.
Right. And
Also, it's not Harrison Ford, which, I mean, there's nothing they can do about that.
Right.
But it's not Harrison Ford.
yeah. And where the Han Solo character is so much Harrison Ford's
yes.
performance. And also kind of a thing about prequels that's difficult to do is you have to end his story arc where he ends up kind of a despicable sort of dude.
Mhm.
Which could
Because
be,
otherwise it kind of undercuts.
that could still
later
be
movie.
that could be, if done like correctly, it could be a pretty cool story. Whereas
Like a Breaking
where
Bad.
it's almost like you could do like a build up and up and up and up, and then just something bad happens
Mhm.
and it completely alters him.
Which I think is kind of what they're doing with Better Call Saul. Have either of you guys watched Better Call
no,
Saul
I've not, but
continuously?
keep going.
Better Call Saul is great,
Yeah.
and I think there's some people that say, "Oh, it may be passing Breaking Bad." I'm not going to go that far. It's a very different show, but it is kind of interesting. And I don't really know how they're going to make him kind of bad. There's been a few moments that it seems like they're going to break him, and they don't. And I know that Noah Hawley, the guy who does Fargo, he went up to Vince Gilligan and was like, "You know what? The best thing you could do is just never make him bad,
Yeah.
and just make it an alternate timeline where everything goes okay, and he goes on the straight and narrow and becomes a nice lawyer,
Yeah.
and it would drive everyone insane.
That'd be great.
Which I think would be
I would love that.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's talking about it in interviews makes me think that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So Gal Gadot was the highest grossing actress,
Congrats to her. Yeah, that's good.
Because Wonder Woman, and then
and
is she
then
in
Justice League.
Justice League?
She's
oh
in.
right, forgot
And then
there was.
I'm
two
not
of them.
sure if they give her a credit for Fast and Furious because she's in it.
But who is she in? Fate.
She's Han's girlfriend who dies.
Oh,
so
that's
she's
right.
so she's in flashbacks.
Right.
So
right.
she's credited in the movie, but I don't know if she gets credit for it. And speaking of Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel is the highest grossing actor.
Yes.
So that's Fate of the Furious and Guardians of the Galaxy.
He deserves it.
And Triple X.
Heck yeah.
Very cool.
Congrats.
Very
Best-
cool with Vin Diesel.
Yeah. I feel like a proud parent, to be honest.
Yeah. You saw him as a pup, and now he's all grown up.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you guys heard about the movie God Particle?
Oh.
I've heard of what? No. I mean, kind of, but no.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Yes.
Well, no one's really heard anything about it.
I've heard of the term God particle.
Right. No one's really heard anything about it. It's coming out in a few weeks. There's been no trailer. There's been no poster. And it's the third in the Cloverfield franchise. And so there's been a little bit of talk that they're like, are they going to delay it or anything? And I think,
Isn't that
no
what they
way.
did with, that's exactly what they did with
10
Cloverfield Lane.
Cloverfield Lane, where it just kind of
Came out.
they just kind of put it out.
Yeah.
Which 10 Cloverfield Lane was one of my favorite movies of last year.
Same here.
Great. It's
It
one of
was
those
great.
movies I saw 2 nights in a
It
row, not by choice, and still liked it.
It reminded me of Lost, which is anything remind me of Lost is amazing in my book.
So this is J.J. Abrams produced, just like, all the Cloverfield stuff. I'm very interested in this,
Yeah.
especially because I think 10 Cloverfield Lane had some things,
Yes.
but they didn't. It was never.
It was in the same universe.
It was
as
in the same
Cloverfield.
universe, but like none of it said other than
Yeah.
the fact that it said Cloverfield. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, do we know who? We don't know who's in God Particle.
There may be something on IMDb or
I
something.
wonder
but
if
it's-
Bradley Cooper is in it, because Bradley Cooper was,
He was
the
in the phone
voice
call, yeah.
of the boyfriend.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
So I wonder if this will be like Bradley Cooper's story.
Bradley Cooper wasn't in anything besides Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware.
Guys, I think we're onto something.
Ooh.
I keep an eye out to see if Bradley Cooper's makes the hits on the.
What if it's just Hangover 4?
Yeah, and then the Cloverfield monster comes.
But
and Stu's got to deal with.
Oh no.
I do really like the way that they're handling, or the way that they have handled so far, the whole like Cloverfield universe.
Uh-huh.
Whereas, I mean, Cloverfield was was kind of writing some of the found footage
Mhm.
Yeah.
way, but I really liked it. And then they say, okay, this is a pretty cool scenario we've built up. We can tie it together, but we're not going to do found footage.
Yeah.
But we're going to be able to build off of this universe. without it being totally linear or the same characters.
Uh-huh.
And I like that as an idea.
Kind of different little stories within a. That's what I think they should have done with Star Wars. Not to bring it back to Star Wars, but I think that's what they should do with Star Wars is these little stories within a universe.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I
So
like that idea.
It's kind of like one of those, like a Crash or something where there's the intersecting storylines, but rather than cramming it all into one movie, which is still like a fun idea to do in a movie, when it's done correctly. It's like that, but just taking that over multiple movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up God Particle. Nobody really of no big name people in any in the cast that they have here. Elizabeth Debicki, who was in Great Gatsby and Guardians of the Galaxy as I think the sister.
Okay.
Daniel Bruhl, who
Steve Brule?
Not Steve Brule. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Daniel Bruhl, you'd kind of recognize his face. He's in Inglourious Bastards as I think he's the guy who gets killed in the bar. Maybe he's the one who has the kid. I could be wrong about that.
The one who's like drunk and kind of falling over people.
Is it Frederick Zeller? Is that him in that? I don't know. And then Chris O'Dowd, who we talked about earlier, is also in it. So I don't know.
We'll see.
We will see about that. And then also just par for the course, Daniel Day-Lewis made a dress from scratch to practice for Phantom Thread because
he did.
He's Daniel Day-Lewis, and Daniel Day-Lewis must do what he does.
And I bet you that dress will sell for $1 gajillion.
It's maybe that's what he's going to do now that he's done acting.
Mm-hmm.
He's just been honing his
He
craft.
was a cobbler, wasn't he?
He's been honing his craft by getting movie studios to pay him to learn a skill.
Yep.
And
he's going to start an oil business.
Right, exactly.
He's
going to be president.
He's going to be a butcher. Yeah.
He abandoned his boy in real life.
He did. Bastard in a basket.
That's all I have for news. Golden Globes is January 7th.
Jeez.
So next week in this news segment we'll be talking about the winners.
Hey.
Okay. January
we'll have our
2nd?
takes.
7th.
Oh, 7th. Okay. We'll hear the winners then. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll hear the winners, and then I think after that, maybe we make our Oscar picks.
Yeah, we could do that.
When do they announce Oscars?
Oscars, I think it's January 23rd.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
That's when they announce?
That's when they announce. The show isn't until March.
Okay.
And we can start doing our picks after that, right? You want to do them we already did our picks. What nominations?
Right. We did our nomination stuff, but we can go ahead and make some closer nomination picks.
Wouldn't you rather do that once the nominations are out?
I want to do this as much as possible.
Okay.
We need content is king,
Content
Trey.
is king.
We're
but
gonna
we're gonna have like 3 bets out there on one show.
This is good.
All right.
Each time, loser watches Bright.
Each time it's bright. Okay.
Always.
So my idea, I've kind of thought about. Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've always kind of thought about like best year, and especially with like video games, best year in video game. I think that's talked about more with video games than film. I think it's just because film has been around for 100 years. Video games, for the most part, like big wide commercial games have been around for 40 years since the 80s. So 80, 90, yeah, about 40 years.
Pong is
Still-
like 70s.
Yeah, but as far as like console releases and the 90s is like the big year. Like so video games, it's usually in the conversation it's like 97 is big. That's when like Zelda and Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil. Then like 2001's always in the conversation, 2007's in the conversation. And this year, actually the reason even I bring this up is this year was like considered one of the best years of video games. So I kind of thought about that with film. And we don't need to go, and I didn't really want to go back to every year and try to figure out what the best, year was in film. But I thought about our personal favorite of the past 10 years, because I think we talked about it when I watched Whiplash and Birdman. I think that year might be, even though there's some movies I haven't seen there, but I could tell they're up my alley, like Gone Girl. I still haven't seen that, but I know I'm going to love that movie. I think that's probably one of my favorite years of movies in a while. And so I kind of wanted to see what your guys. Now, we're not ranking these, but we did the last 10 years, or I guess 11 years, because I wanted to include 2007.
Just talk about 2007, and we're going to do 10 years.
Okay, 10 years. I'll talk about 2007. You guys can do 10 years. We listed our.
I like an arbitrary, just for no reason,
Yeah.
11. Past 11 years.
11, yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to we could talk about what our favorite one is. We don't have to, we're not ranking these, but these are the past 10 years and our top 3 favorite movies for each year.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, we could call it Of the New Millennium.
Of the
and
New
I would
Millennium.
still pick the year that I picked.
Okay.
Whoa.
Ooh. All right. So what's the first year you guys did? 2008 or 2007? Did you guys do 2007?
Oh, wait, are we going year by year?
Yeah, I want to go year by year.
Okay.
If that's
I
all right.
don't have robust notes on every year.
Yeah.
I just picked
So-
3 movies for each year. That's all I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
So I'll just do 2007. That might be my favorite year of movies because you had I picked my 3 is No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood, and Hot Fuzz.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There was another one in 2007 when I went to look at why
Zodiac.
you wanted Zodiac.
Yeah,
Super
Zodiac
bad.
was up there too. I wanted to put a comedy though. I could have put Zodiac, but I wanted to put a comedy.
Interesting.
But those and then Superbad
Yeah.
as well.
Superbad kind of was one of those just kind of kickstart to all.
Yeah.
Basically, what so many comedies are now with the stars that are in there and
Yeah.
the style of comedy that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
That's so prevalent in film. That was, I think, one of like it was like a watershed kind of
Yeah, definitely.
moment for comedies.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite year of movies. And that was like the year I graduated high school. So it might be a little biased, I don't know. But yeah, like those No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood are 2 of my favorite movies of all time. Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite comedies of all time. Superbad is one of my favorite comedies of all time. Then Zodiac is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
I think like 3:10 to Yuma was that year. I know some like really good westerns were out that year. I mean, including those 2 I just mentioned. You could call those 2 westerns in a way, you know.
It was a deep year
Yeah.
for sure.
It was a really good year.
Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity.
Ooh.
Yes.
And then like American Gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a really good year.
What'd you guys pick for? All right. So did you start with 2008?
I started with 2008.
Okay. Let's start with you then. 2008.
2008, my 3 would be The Dark Knight,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I think, the best superhero movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I don't know, I don't see a whole bunch of complaints with that. I have The Wrestler, which
Okay.
is Aronofsky, which I loved that movie so much, and it kind of really got me deep into Aronofsky, and it's super heartbreaking and brutal in ways that are kind of different than his other movies, but there's also some gore stuff. And then Man on Wire, which I think is my favorite documentary of all time. It's about a guy who set up a tightrope in between the Twin Towers
Yeah.
and walked back and forth, and it's amazing.
Yeah. If I was going to pick 3 from 2008, it would definitely be Dark Knight, and then probably Tropic Thunder.
Tropic
That's
Thunder
great.
was 4th on my list.
Yeah.
And then it's maybe a tie. This is a really good year for comedy.
Yeah. It was
'Cause
I think Justin Montemayor said it was one of the best year. It might be the best year for comedies.
Yeah, because you also have Pineapple Express and Step Brothers.
Yes.
Which I might just tie those. So the fact that 3 of the 4 best movies from the year for me are all comedies.
Step Brothers
pretty sweet.
might be my favorite comedy. One of
Yeah.
my favorite comedies ever.
Is that in your top 3?
I did not put. Yeah, actually, I did. So mine is The Dark Knight, Bronson, and Step Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
Bronson
realize
came out that
Bronson
year.
came out that year.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, I was
would've-
surprised you didn't take Bronson.
Yeah.
Well, I missed it, okay?
Well, no, I did Google, then I did IMDb because I was getting different answers for like top movies for each one.
Yeah.
So like Bronson showed up on IMDb. It
Gotcha.
didn't show up on the Google one.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Also, In Bruges came out that year.
Okay.
That's a really, really good movie
Mhm.
if people want
Yes.
something that is maybe a little off the beaten path.
Okay. All right. So 2009. I think we might have similar lists. From 2009.
I think we would. I have Inglourious Bastards, which is kind of one of my favorite movies to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general, I think it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I have District 9, which is, as far as sci-fi goes, one of my favorites again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was between Funny People, which I think is very underrated, and the other one, I enjoyed The Hangover.
Okay.
As well, as far as in the comedy things. I think that may have been Bridesmaids. Probably is after that, but the last kind of universal comedy that got a ton of love as just a straight comedy movie, I think Hangover and then Bridesmaids is probably about as close as it gets.
Yeah. My picks were Inglourious Bastards, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Sorry, Adam.
Well, Fantastic Mr. Fox is my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
Okay.
That one is very good, and I think his style works in that form.
Yeah,
very
for sure.
well.
Yeah, it was one of the more like this as far as like being just completely like tuned into the movie and entertained so thoroughly throughout the movie. That's up there for sure for me. And then maybe Crank. Crank
is crazy.
It's so insane. Which just insane height concept, just like fuck the rules action movies. I am all about it.
I put Inglourious Bastards, District 9 as well, and Moon came out that year. That might
did
be
it?
That might be one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever. Moon.
I don't know if I know Moon.
That is
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, and he is on a moon base, and I think they're mining, and he wakes up and he realizes that he sees a copy of himself, and he has to figure out what's going on, and it's really good. It's a really good science fiction movie. I don't want to speak too much because I don't want to ruin it. I mean, I think you really need to see it.
Okay.
I mean, it's really good. Sam Rockwell's great in it. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Well, I missed that. I'll take Crank off.
Put Moon on there.
Okay.
Funny People. I really like that as a Great Gatsby movie. I think that's the best Great Gatsby movie ever made. Yeah.
It really is. I think once you rewatch it with the right frame of mind, it's very, very enjoyable. 2010, mine. This may be my favorite.
Really?
Not to give it away.
Huh.
2010 also maybe the best year for animated movies.
Okay.
That there ever has been. I would say number one is probably Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Which is Edgar Wright at his Edgar
See,
Wrightiest.
I was thinking about it. Here's my thing. I saw it once, and I hated it the first time I saw it. And that was a long time ago. But I think year after year, I liked it more and more and more. And I was going to put it on there, but I've not seen it since that time. I think it would be on there. I just feel like I need to see it again just to be 100% sure.
I was real hyped for Scott Pilgrim when it came out because I had read the comics and all that, and I thought it did a really good job as an interpretation and worked as its own sort of thing. Then Inception, which is Nolan is great, and then I'll take Toy Story 3 as my third one, which I think Toy Story 3 may be my favorite animated movie.
All right.
I don't think we've ever talked about favorite animated movies.
I don't think we have either.
No.
But also, when I was talking about the best year for animated movies, it's Toy Story 3, How to Train Your Dragon, and Despicable Me all came out in that year.
I remember seeing How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon is great.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's really good. I'll probably take Inception, Scott Pilgrim, and then maybe a little 127 Hours. I really enjoyed 127. I think I've mentioned before the really small, like where where it's essentially just one actor.
Yeah,
giving a
that was
performance.
really good. Was that the year that Slumdog Millionaire came out?
No, Slumdog came out maybe
Later. I think it was 2008.
2008 or 2009.
Yeah. I put Inception, Black Swan, another Aronofsky athlete torture pick.
Yeah.
And Shutter Island. I'll put Scott Pilgrim as a fourth until further notice, but I put those three. Shutter Island was a pretty good little Martin Scorsese movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought Leo was really good in it.
He kind of played the same character as he did in Inception. I mean, I kind of have a hard time deciphering what was from Inception and what was from Shutter Island. You know, they were kind of the same character, but I thought it was good.
For movies in 2011,
yeah,
another really good year.
This is the one I feel like I had the hardest time picking.
You think this was a really good one?
I had the hardest.
I liked
picking
a lot
this
of
one.
movies in this year.
Okay, I'm interested in what you have to say because I think just overall this is kind of a down year.
Yeah,
I think
movies.
it might have been. I think it might not be as deep, but I think there are several very good movies.
Fast and Furious 5.
Of course.
of course.
Fast 5. That's when the Fast and Furious franchise
Got its
takes
wings.
off and
Mm-hmm.
really turns into the freaking monster that it is.
Yes.
At this point. X-Men First Class I think is
I didn't like that
Really?
as much.
You didn't like First Class?
I saw it the night that I got fired from my job, so I was kind of
no.
upset.
Oh no.
What
Maybe
what job?
I don't really want to talk about it on the podcast. I could talk about it after maybe, but it was a bad night. I was in a bad place. So
Oh no.
maybe I just was in a bad place.
I think X-Men First Class is because that's the first one with Fassbender.
Yeah.
And it I don't know. I thought it was a really cool kind of recreation, and it sets up Days of Future Past, which I think is a really good one as well. And then Drive is the other one.
Yes.
I think that it is kind of pretentious, and it kind of is a little long for me.
Could have used maybe a one or two more driving scenes.
I think for
Chase
sure,
scenes,
but the highs in that movie are
yes.
very,
Yeah.
very high.
So stylish, yeah.
Cool as hell.
Yes, it's a very cool movie.
So mine are Jack and Jill, Mr. Popper's Penguins, and Rum Diaries.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
yes.
No, mine are probably. I'm going to go with Midnight in Paris
Midnight in Paris
never
is
saw that
very
one
good.
yet.
because I've never Marion Cotillard in that movie is one of the most just like steals your heart kind of roles. She is fantastic. And then Drive, and then probably Moneyball.
Yeah, that did come out. that
Oh
year.
no, I'll do Fast Five.
Okay. I never saw Fast 5. This was hard for me because even though this was like the year I was taking advanced film, because I know in a few years after that, I kind of didn't like the year before, I guess 2016, I barely saw anything in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sort of, I don't know. I think ever since I got overnight, I had a harder time seeing movies.
Uh-huh.
But this year was like the year I did advanced film, and I'm surprised I didn't see more movies this year because I did my advanced film class. But Drive, I put Tree of Life, which is a really cool, very artsy. You know, a lot of more imagery and
Lexi loves Tree of Life.
it's a really good movie. And Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Put that
All
there
right.
too. Yeah.
All right. 2012
Yes.
is where we are now.
This is a really good year, 2012.
I think this is also a really good year. I think Skyfall, which is
I had to take that off for something, but yeah, that was on there for a while.
it looks so
It's the best looking
good.
Bond movie.
it looks so freaking good.
Mhm.
Safety Not Guaranteed.
I never saw that, but I wanted to.
Oh, that was great. That was
It's
very
a
good.
really
I need to
good
see that,
movie.
yeah.
Colin Trevorrow. It essentially got him Rogue One.
Really? Okay.
Like that's his only other big movie, really that got it. And then I guess Looper.
You didn't put Django?
I mean, I liked Django. I liked Django a lot. I just didn't want to be all Tarantino.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
fine.
You gotta be honest with yourself.
I really liked
Man,
Looper. I
love Looper too. But here's the thing. I think I love Looper because I love 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, maybe.
That was kind of why I kind of took it off for something else.
Yeah, maybe it's Django. Maybe third is Django. Looper, I think, is a really good movie, and it was what got me excited about Rian Johnson directing the Star Wars movie, which I think one thing that I realized about Rian Johnson is that I loved him building worlds, and he does it in Looper. That's my favorite part of Looper is him building the world in Looper. In Brick, it's a really cool thing where he's like, oh, it's like a mob movie, but it's in a high school, and that's cool. But they gave him a Star Wars movie, and the only thing that comes with directing a Star Wars movie is you're in the Star Wars universe, and so he doesn't get to build.
Sure.
And so as I've thought about that, and there's a lot of cool stuff in Last Jedi, I think, even though I was not a big fan. It kind of gives me hope for his next trilogy of movies where it is not the Skywalker series and he can go off and do his own thing.
Totally.
Mine are Django, also Safety Not Guaranteed, and then 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
21 Jump Street is so much fun.
That might be the most surprising movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because I was not expecting anything. I thought this was just going to be some dumb movie, and I'm like, man, this is like hilarious.
Yeah, 21 Jump Street is the first movie I ever went and saw by myself.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And it was such a fantastic
You're like, seeing movies alone is great.
This is great.
Oh, dude, I do that all the time. Like, I don't get those conversations. People are like, I can't see a movie by myself. That's weird. It's like, how is it weird? I do it all the time.
And it's also kind of clear Star Wars was looking for directors in 2008 because that's Lord and Miller who they signed on to do Solo. They did Safety Not Guaranteed, which was Trevorrow who did Rogue One, and then Rian Johnson.
There you go.
Did Looper. So they were kind of like, get us the coolest, the people who did something kind of cool in that year.
I put Django Unchained, Chronicle, and Cabin in the Woods.
All right.
Yeah. Cabin in the Woods was very good.
Yeah. Chronicle is probably one of my favorite movies ever. I know it's on my top 10 list, but it's up there, you know. Yeah, one of my favorite superhero kind of movies. Or, I mean, not really, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very Akira, too. It's a lot of Akira in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right.
Let's see. So 2013, I have The Wolf of Wall Street, which I think is really good, and it's almost kind of created a subgenre of movie.
Yeah.
Almost. Like, I would say that like Molly's Game.
Or The Big Short. Is kind of
The Big Short, where it's kind of in I, Tonya. Where it's kind of the main character is kind of telling
person.
just kind of telling the story in a way of itself and being like, yeah, this is true. This maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
This Is the End.
Yeah.
Which is that's probably my favorite comedy of the last 10 years, maybe. I think it's so
There's
fun.
been some good comedies in but it's last 10 years, but it's mostly been in like the first half of because like the last few years nothing, but This Is the End. I guess it's usually just those guys though that make the good stuff, really.
Yeah, well, in the way we've done it, yeah. And then I think I may take, this is probably going to be controversial, but I really loved Pain and Gain, the Michael Bay movie with Mark Wahlberg and The Rock. I loved it.
Yeah,
that was a good fun movie.
So much fun. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it's just like a heist movie.
It's a dumb criminals movie.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I am shocked you didn't take Fast and Furious 6.
Right.
That is for me the best Fast and Furious movie.
Fast and Furious 6 is probably the best Fast and Furious movie and should be over there over Pain and Gain, but here I am trying to make
your list.
Trying to make waves.
See, I'm picking Fast and Furious 6, Her, and
I still have to see Her.
And then probably also This Is the End.
Yeah.
I'm with Adam as far as that being one of the best comedies made in the last 10 or so years. There's plenty of movies that this is a pretty good year for me as well.
Yeah.
But that's my 3.
I still haven't seen her. I need to see her. I put, where am I? Oh, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep.
Snowpiercer.
Yep.
And this is the end.
Snowpiercer's great.
I love Snowpiercer, and it reminded me, that movie most reminded me of like a video game, and I actually did a video early on my channel about how that was like BioShock, because pretty much it reminded me of that because it's this close corridor, it's in a location that is made to be habitable that's not supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like BioShock. It is also, it's set up like a video game where all the compartments are like different areas you have to go through, and there's challenges to get through each area, and you can kind of go, and then the people there, like the kind of the classes of people kind of go up and up and up, and it's very much like a video game, how it's constructed. It's a really cool movie. I really enjoyed Snowpiercer a lot. And yeah, this is the end as well.
All right.
Is that the first? No, we've had plenty that were unanimous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2014.
Yeah.
I think this is a really strong one. This is probably my second favorite.
This is my second favorite, definitely. Yeah.
Birdman, I think, is about as good as anything that's come out this millennium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that may be one of my tops just as far as like best movies as it is. Nightcrawler is really good and really creepy.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's like Taxi Driver.
The performance is so good.
Uh-huh.
From old Jake.
Yeah. And then I guess the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Man, I was hoping we'd have the same list.
I could have put Whiplash.
Yeah.
I liked Whiplash a lot. That first Guardians movie is kind of like the adjustment on what superhero movies can be to me. I was so pleasantly surprised by it at the time.
Yeah.
And kind of where it's taken movies, I'm not necessarily a big fan of, but for what it is in a time when you get like, serious Thor movies and super dark Batman movies because it just come off after the Dark Knight stuff.
But it does show that there can be like riffs that change movies.
Yes.
And it might be for the better at first, and it might not, like it might wear out, but it shows that there can be changes, and so you're not just getting exactly the same thing every year. I have Nightcrawler, Birdman, and Ex Machina for my 3, and this is my pick for the best year.
Your favorite year?
Yeah.
I recently saw Ex Machina. I think
is Ex Machina 2014?
Yeah, it's that year.
Oh, I thought.
I liked it alright. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would.
No?
I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was something. I don't know. My I guess going into it, I thought it was going to be something grander. I didn't realize it was such a small story. So maybe I was expecting something a little more.
You're expecting like a full army of replicants kind of thing?
I don't know about that, but like, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly.
That's fine.
But yeah, I thought it was good though.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It was like a April release or something, so you're not expecting a whole lot.
Right. I put Nightcrawler, Whiplash, and Birdman for that. Yeah. I just recently saw Whiplash too, so that's kind of still stuck on me.
Right.
Yeah. It's so good. And yeah, Nightcrawler and Birdman. That might be my favorite year in a long time. 2014 is great. It's a great year.
All right.
2015.
2015. I got some car movies.
All right.
I got Mad Max Fury Road.
Yep.
I think is number one clearly. Fast and Furious 7. That one was for Paul.
Paul.
Fate of the Furious was from Paul.
Yeah.
But man, the end of Fast and Furious 7 is
insane.
So good.
It's so powerful. It's you're seeing someone you grew up with.
Yeah.
Go drive away.
I still need to watch all of them. I've seen the
Yeah.
1st one.
I feel like you're not gonna enjoy
No,
them as much as we
I
do.
will.
And
Dude, trust me. Like I listen to podcasts where all they do is just talk about Fast and the Furious shit, and it's not even about Fast and the Furious.
Well,
I like that stuff. I love that just fucking action nonsense. I just need to watch it.
you have like a year and a half to watch all of them
I will.
before I'm sure 9
New
comes
year,
out,
new me.
because those are theaters movies to see in theaters.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's an experience, especially when you go with a bunch of super fans like us.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And then the third one is kind of tough because there's The Revenant, there's Creed, there's Spotlight.
Creed was really good.
I enjoyed Creed, but
Spotlight,
maybe not
I've
as much.
not seen that yet.
I thought you said you loved Spotlight.
Nope.
I thought you were saying that you loved movies where newspapers did things.
I haven't seen Spotlight. No, I talked about what's it
I know
called?
you talked about All the President's Men.
I didn't mean to mention Spotlight. If I did,
Well, if you like movies about investigative
I know
journalism,
I have it
then-
downloaded on my movies to watch list.
Okay.
I have it on DVD.
What?
Oh.
All right, well, I'll put Spotlight on there.
Okay.
Also, on the last one, I didn't mean to have it on the list, but I meant to mention What We Do in the Shadows
Yeah.
in 2014.
I did watch that movie this year. Forgot to put that on my list of movies I watched this year. Yeah, Spencer.
I have Mad Max Fury Road, and then I have Fast and Furious 7, and then I think I have The Big Short.
The Big
Yeah,
Short
that's
was
another
really
one I
good.
still
I
haven't
love
seen.
The Big Short. It's great. I mean, it's really all the performances are great. The story is great, and then just the style is super interesting to me.
And what they were able to do with that subject matter.
Right. It's like and you feel pretty educated watching it without lacking the entertainment value.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think this year and the next year, the two that I kind of had the most trouble with. Actually, even though 2016 that's a nice little list, but I feel like for some reason I'd seen less movies these 2 years. Probably the overnight thing. 2015 I put Mad Max, The Revenant, and The Hateful Eight.
Okay.
Yeah.
2016.
Yep.
Uh,
Last year.
yeah.
2 years. ago,
2016 was
technically,
good.
yeah, 2016 is really good. Arrival, I think, is super cool. Way to look at an aliens arriving
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, no
where it's-
spoilies for me still.
Oh, you still haven't seen
on
Arrival?
my list to see.
Oh,
it.
man.
You need to see Arrival.
Arrival is great.
Yeah.
Well,
2018 New Year, New You, Spencer.
I
See
think it's
Arrival.
on Amazon.
I think it is too.
So
Actually,
I will watch. I think I might. I honestly think I saw it on Amazon. It's like, no, I'm saving that
Okay.
yeah.
for my 100 movies this
Yeah.
year movie. list.
Well, I mean, I'm not to spoil much about it, but it's basically aliens arrive. How do we
Yeah.
communicate with them?
Yeah, I know the concept.
and it's. I think that
That's
does
cool.
it really.
And the twist is they're dead the whole time.
No.
well. You zoom out, and the crops are apps. I have The Nice Guys on the list, which I think was as fun
Yeah.
as any movie from that year,
Yeah.
and then 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yep.
Which I think is great. Manchester by the Sea, I think, was really, really good. But this is my list, and I'm gonna put 10 Cloverfield
Back
Lane.
off. I'm going to put Sing Street. If you haven't, have y'all seen Sing Street?
I have not.
I'm anti-musical ever since I was forced to go see
so
Les Miserables.
It's
so.
not truly a musical. I mean,
Okay.
it is a musical. It's in a sense it's a musical, but it's not like they don't just break into song like while talking. It's in Ireland. It's about basically a boy who tries to impress a girl by telling her he has a band and she should come be in his music video, and then he has to quickly assemble a band. And it takes place in the 80s. So
I'm
it's like-
already into it.
No,
I
it's
like that.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that idea.
I mean, the soundtrack is great. It's 80s. It's a lot of like new wave and Duran Duran and stuff like that. And then they have a lot of like several original songs that like the kids perform. They're in like probably like early high school. But the music is great. The story is really good. It's basically it's one of my highest recommends for the year. So yeah, Sing Street, I'll probably put Hell or High Water.
Hell or
yeah,
High Water's
that was
a lot
really
of fun.
good.
Yeah,
That's a really good movie.
Loved Hell. It's either Sing Street or Hell or High Water for best of the year for me. And then probably
I'm gonna add
Moana.
one. I'm gonna add one into the mix here that you may not have seen. The Lobster came out that year.
Yeah, and I want to
yeah.
add one too. I think this came out in 2016. I'm pretty sure it did. The
Lobster
Invitation
came out 2015, I thought. It might
I
have
saw
been
2016.
like an initial release
Maybe,
that
yeah.
I had it
maybe.
mixed up.
Maybe.
But okay, yeah. So yeah, I think you're right.
What was your last one? I'm sorry.
I'll put Moana just
Moana,
for
okay.
That's the best Disney
Yeah.
soundtrack in my opinion, so I put it on there for that reason.
I'm gonna put in an honorable mention just because I remembered it. The Invitation is really great. It is a.
Well, honorable mention. You haven't even given your list.
I know.
yet.
I haven't.
So you
given
can't
a list.
honorable mention my list. You give us your list.
Well, my list is actually the same as Adam's.
Okay.
Exact same. It's
Hey.
Arrival, Nice Guys, and 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, this was a
Yeah.
very good year.
Yeah, it was a good. Even though I had some hard times putting it together, it was those three are solid.
Yeah,
Those are solid movies.
this was a great year for animated movies as well because Zootopia was also very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Invitation's a really good movie about a group of friends that come together, and one of the friends is like married, and her husband is like this kind of. It's really good. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I would recommend highly seeing that movie. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
The Invitation.
The Invitation.
It's really good. It's the most tense I've been watching a movie before. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to sell it too hard, but it's very tense and very that actor who in Zodiac he plays Frances McDormand's husband in Fargo. He was in Zodiac. He's that big guy.
Yeah, I know
He's in it, and he's creepy as fuck again in this. He is so good at being a creepy ass man. He's great. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Yeah, and I guess last year is Blade Runner, Brigsby Bear, and Dunkirk. I put.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was let's see, it was Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dunkirk, and Get Out, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine was Dunkirk, Sacred Deer, Get Out.
All right.
I do recommend people who are like, what are the most underrated movies? I tell them to go see Killing of a Sacred Deer.
I would agree
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Or-
what was your favorite year, Spencer?
My favorite year, I think I'll pick 2014.
It's a really good one.
And
Yeah.
then 2017 is 2017 is probably the
Oh.
close second.
I think
Okay.
2017 is really, really strong.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a strong year. I think it's because I've just seen way more movies exponentially than I've seen the last few years.
that
this year.
definitely helps.
It
Yeah.
helps, yeah.
It's pretty strong year. I think again 14 favorite year, and then 07. But I guess
You
we're not
picked
counting
14
07. Yeah,
as well?
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
like those that had the most like movies
Samesies.
that I was into.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that I did a top 3
Mhm.
and there are still like Days of Future Past, which is like,
Really
in my
good.
opinion, like the best non-Fast and Furious action movie of recent year. And then, yeah, it's just such an incredibly deep year
Mhm.
for like really like most categories. Because comedies, you also have like Kingsman, which is a pretty cool action comedy, and 22 Jump Street. I really like the Jump
Yeah.
Street movies.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Adam,
All right.
what's your favorite year there?
Oh, I said at the time
Oh.
when we were going, I think it was 2010.
2010. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun little game we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did this, guys.
You know what I forgot to do, guys?
Twitter
Record
questions?
Twitter questions. Screw
Oh.
2018. It's been a disaster.
Starting out strong.
We're starting out really strong this year.
Well,
okay. I'll put one into my my computer here. I've
Uh-huh.
compiled all the Twitter questions that we've ever got,
Yeah.
and let me just go, and it'll spit out one
Uh-huh.
that we would have got.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
What if Nier Automata was Shrek?
Well, then it would be a very odd game. Where did you find that question? Is that well, how do you even know about Nier Automata?
We get asked questions about video games.
Oh,
That's
yeah, we do,
90% of our questions are either video
Yep.
game questions or Shrek.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. What is the best Hitman movie?
Hitman, the one with Hitman in it.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, all right. This is a Super FilmsCast 64 for another week. Thank you so much for joining us this week, guys.
New year,
out
new
there.
you. Send us money.
Yeah.
Yeah, tweet us your favorite year.
Tweet us your
Of
favorite
cinema.
year. Tweet us and let us know what you think of the show for once. I think we did get another review on iTunes. So
Wow.
that's good. We got 3 reviews now. One of those is from me.
You don't have to say that.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, this has been fun. You can follow me at CrayTreyVids on Twitter. Where can we find you guys on Twitter?
I'm at the Fullertron on Twitter. You might see me posting pictures from WinStar.
Yeah, I'm at Coach Chucky. I might tweet this week.
All right. Awesome. You can find me at CrayTreyVids and go on my YouTube channel, CrayTrey1310. Hopefully I post new videos this year because new year, new me. Again, thanks for listening and leave us some feedback and tell us what you think of the show. Tell us what movies we should watch as well.
Oh, yeah. So next week, for all our listeners that want to get ready, we will talk about Bright.
Yes. Bright.
We will.
We'll talk about Bright.
Are we all talking, or are we just listening to you talk?
Well, that's up to you guys. I'm planning on talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about
as far
Bright,
as
even though that kind of defeats the purpose of punishment.
I don't know if we should. Maybe after. How about that? We listen to his review and maybe
and
we
then
do
you
it
decide
after.
for yourself whether it's
Yeah.
worth
All
the
right.
time.
Just
So this
in
is
spirit of the review.
Adam selling us on
Yeah.
Bright next week.
Yeah.
All right.
All
So
right.
that's it.
Be on the lookout for that. Thank you.